they're off. The tape flies back. Bourne has jumped off okay. One of the greys in the race, and the last group of 3 red cap, as Forrit leads them to the first of the 12 flights with Devotion to Duty in the red jacket, and all neatly enough over the first. So Forrit and Devotion to Duty a little way clear of How Is He, another grey showing up in third, and then Purcell's Bridge on the far side. Sean Dobbin aboard in a green sleeve jacket, then Bourne, and weighted with towards the rear of the field, Dance Into the Light, with Becky Smith rather a tight hold of his head and trucking along. Also in rear, McCoy in the yellow jacket. So safely over the second. One more to take across in the back straight this time, and Forrit in front. From Devotion to Duty, then How Is He, Purcell's Bridge, Bourne, couple of lengths to last year's winner trucking along, and Dance Into the Light, last of the 7-strong field. So about to take the turn, and Forrit uncontested in front and steadily pulling himself further clear. From Devotion to Duty, who looked as though he was going to help push the pace along early with Forrit, but he's reined off it now and virtually disputes second with How Is He, the grey. Couple of lengths to Purcell's Bridge, and then Bourne from trucking along and Dance Into the Light. So to the end of 3/4 of a mile they go, and a swing on in near darkness at the bottom end of the track. Forrit about 8 lengths clear, straightening for the 4th. From Devotion to Duty, then How Is He, Purcell's Bridge on the near side of Bourne, trucking along AP at yellow jacket, and then a Dance Into the Light. Here's the 4th then for Forrit, and skips cleanly over it. Devotion to Duty flicking through the top alongside How Is He in the centre. Purcell's Bridge inclined to take a bit of a grip on the left, followed there by trucking along, and another hard puller, Dance Into the Light, and Bourne on the right, seeking a bit of cover behind Devotion to Duty. Rather more well grouped up than they were. He's got a breather into Forrit, just dropping anchor in front, Peter Buchanan, and they close right up to him now, approaching the 6th. Devotion to Duty on the right, How Is He in the centre. The first 3 to rise, and Devotion to Duty for the second time in the straight, just clipping the flight, and now well grouped. They're about to head under the judge, and Forrit in front. From How Is He and Devotion to Duty, the hard pulling Dance Into the Light, steadily tugging his way through the field next door to Purcell's Bridge, and then trucking along, and Bourne drops back to be last. AP in rear, glancing across to Jason Maguire aboard Bourne on the descent, and back to their point of departure. A further 6 to jump. Forrit from Devotion to Duty, How Is He, Purcell's Bridge charting a slightly wider course, Dance Into the Light up the rail, and then trucking along, still AP with a tight hold of his head, and Bourne once more on and off the bridle, but he remains in touch as they go to the 7th. Forrit hurdling fluently. Slight mistake from How Is He there. Purcell's Bridge joining him just behind Devotion to Duty, trucking along, still tugging away. AP not yet let half an inch of rain go there as they move on towards the midpoint in the back straight. A mile to travel. Forrit from Devotion to Duty on the near side of How Is He and Purcell's Bridge wide, then Dance Into the Light and trucking along, and finally the still ridden along Bourne, and trucking along, carrying his head to one side a little as they go on towards the final flight on the far side, and there Devotion to Duty paddled his hind legs through it. So the tempo being increased once more, and Forrit upping the ante as they go to the far corner of the track. How Is He in the centre, Purcell's Bridge wide, and Devotion to Duty give most immediate chase. They're closing up onto the leader's tail, and then a slight break as they go into the bend, 2 or 3 lengths away to trucking along, beginning to make some progress now, and he'd be only 5 lengths off the lead as Forrit swings back towards home from Purcell's Bridge out wide. And then How Is He, Devotion to Duty coming under strong pressure. McCoy removes the set of goggles aboard, trucking along, and then Bourne and Dance Into the Light. But Forrit is trying to expose any stamina flaws that the opposition might have here. Purcell's Bridge is the nearest pursuer, a couple of lengths between them. And then How Is He, Devotion to Duty on the right, and then a break of 4 lengths to trucking along. Forrit with another good jump is safely over the 3rd last, Purcell's Bridge, though, still chasing doggedly under Sean Dobbin. Then Devotion to Duty. McCoy now nudging away on Trucking Along. The response hasn't been immediate, and Live for It is safely over the second last. Purcell's Bridge continues to chase him on this long run down to the last. Devotion to Duty back in third and Trucking Along hasn't picked up for pressure. So Live for It from Purcell's Bridge. Here's the last. Live for It came up again with another accurate leap. He's over 2 lengths ahead from Purcell's Bridge. Trucking Along looked very awkward on the run to the line, and Live for It is staying on powerfully here on his first start for Lucinda Russell. Peter Buchanan drives him out in fading light to make sure. Live for It has a bit too much class for them. Purcell's Bridge in second, Devotion to Duty just third ahead of Trucking Along.
Quite brilliant, quite brilliant. Live for It, all class, and he relished being back over hurdles. The enthusiasm is still there. More importantly, the ability